How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping another video, guys. This is about the 8th vlog. I think I've done 7 or 8 vlogs or something. It's literally just 2 minutes to 1 in the morning. These should be up for like 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Headline reads, sleeping prisoner has boiling water poured in eye during a racist attack. This is in the Liverpool Echo, guys. Link in the description below. John Riley called Esmail El-Magani a Muslim bastard when he wasn't even a Muslim. A prisoner poured boiling water into a sleeping inmate's eye at H&P Altcourse, well, it's not H&P because it's a private prison, during a sickening racist attack. Convicted robber John Riley demanded a turn on a pool table when Esmail El-Magani was playing a game. Liverpool Crown Court heard El-Magani, 38, originally from Libya, didn't want any trouble and said that's fine. To ensure there was no hard feelings, he offered Riley a fist bump, which the 41-year-old reciprocated. When he went back to his cell and fell asleep, Riley collected boiling water from a tea urn in a beaker. The cowardly thug then crept up to the defenceless El-Magani and emptied the contents into his left eye. He woke up to an immense pain and Riley warned, "Don't go out. Don't go out, you Muslim bastard. If you go out, I will kill you." What he's talking about is don't go out the cell, because obviously there's only them two in the cell, and obviously they play back cameras and stuff like that. So he's just pretty saying, don't go out on that landing. Derek Jones prosecuting said El-Magani, who is not actually Muslim, was terrified but alerted prison guards. He can't, even if it's, do you know what I mean, even if it was something like this, guys, he thought there was no hard feelings. He's gone back to his pad and he's been hot watered. It might be excessive, but you don't grass. You just don't grass. It causes you fucking problems if you grass in prison. You do not grass in prison. Simple. Keep your mouth shut. Yeah, so he alerted guards. He'd been in jail since he'd been in jail since early last year and had kept himself to himself before the June the 17th, 2017 incident. CCTV footage captured Riley hiding the beaker, going into El-Magani's cell onto the landing, then back into the cell to attack. Mr. Jones said the victim was taken to Wiston Hospital where he received treatment, including ointments for 3 days. Riley had no fixed abode, appearing via video link from H&P Birmingham. So he was obviously shipped out on the back of that. Admitted racially aggravated assault causing actual bodily harm. Judge Gary Woodall questioned why he was not charged with causing grievous bodily harm, which Mr. Jones said surprised him. El-Magani revealed he no longer had any scarring on his face, but he's receiving treatment for his left eye from an ophthalmologist. I can't pronounce it. So it's to do with eyes. The victim said he had suffered depression since the incident and was nervous of people coming close to him. He's saying that, guys. Do you know why he's saying that? Because he's compensation. Compensation, that's what he's after. He's since suffered depression since the incident and was nervous of people getting close to him. All part of a compensation claim, that to pad it up so he gets more money. That's what that is, let me tell you. He said he was afraid of people holding bottles of water and found going out in public and getting a new job very difficult. Compensation claim, guys, loss of earnings, the usual. Because of the damage to his skin, he would have avoided sunlight or direct heat and no longer felt able to work as a chef. He's milking it, this El-Magani kid. Mr. Jones said he describes having partial vision. An ongoing course of treatment involves having injections to his left eyeball. He is unsure if the damage to the eye will be permanent or not. Riley, who refused to be interviewed when police attended prison, has 42 convictions for 142 offences going back to 1992. They include wounding, assaults, drugs, possession of weapons, affray and robbery. He was jailed for 5 years in 1998. He was locked up for 5 years, 4 months with an extended 2 years, 8 months on licence in September 2005 for robbery. And 9 days after this attack, he assaulted a prison guard by punching him in the face and was convicted of battery. And the picture that he's got, guys, is probably after he's assaulted that prison officer, because he's got a shiner that's coming down. It's a prison mugshot, or no, it might be a police mugshot. He might have been given a kicking by the police. But he's got a shiner there anyway. Charles Lander, defending, said his client was due for release next March, was embarrassed and ashamed. He's not. It's just the fucking his brief saying that, pleading for clemency. He said the defendant says after a game of pool his head was stewing. He was going to get a coffee and for some reason he just went into that room and acted as he did. Mr. Lander said Riley had an anger management issues and was possibly a schizophrenic, but at the time was not receiving any medication. He was too embarrassed to now have a conviction for racism and never had any problems with Muslims or ethnic minorities. Judge Woodall said Riley muscled in on a game of pool and El-Magani didn't argue back and then suffered a very painful injury. It is said, in fact, Mr. El Magani is not a Muslim, but he clearly believed he was, and that was the motivation, at least in part, for this unprovoked attack. The judge handed Riley a 2-year and 8-month sentence in prison, consecutive to his existing sentence, meaning he will not be released until before July 2020. What to say, guys? Apparently he's got mental health issues. Racism does go on in prisons, guys. Like I say, people could be racially high, whether it, like if they was padded up with someone of another group, whether it be a black inmate that's got an issue with white inmates, or a black with a Muslim, or a Muslim with a white guy. You can get prisons that are racially high. Racism does does go on in prison, of course it does. You've got religious hatred, you've got, like I say, and then you've got obviously racial hatred, which I don't understand it one bit. We're very diverse as a country, and you've got a lot of different races and religions in prison, and like I say, Muslims ordinarily will stick with Muslims, whites will stick with whites. You know what I mean, if you're foreign, like if you're from if you're in Liverpool, if you're in a strange ways and you're a Scouser, you will gravitate to other Scousers because we stick to our own. I mean, it's cliquey in prison. It's that sort of place, man. The fact that he's been hot watered, guys, does go on in prison. It is obviously very painful and stuff. But El Magani sounds like a compensation claim. He's throwing out all the right lines, which would imply to me as an ex-con that he's trying to get compensation for what he's doing. Let me know what you think about the story, guys. I'll put a link in the. I'll put a picture of John Riley at the front of the video. You can see where he's got a shiner, which is just going down. He's got a bit of a mouse under his eye. But yeah, it goes on within prisons, guys. I don't condone the attack, but I understand why these things happen. But like I said, it sounded like an unprovoked attack, and he was obviously wind up at him because he thought it was a Muslim. It turned out he wasn't even a Muslim. Oops, things happen. Right, on that note, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.